All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome everybody back to the second edition of Marion Harding High School football here live at the beautiful stadium. How you doing tonight, Coach Keplinger?
Oh, I'm great, Coach Schneider. How about yourself?
I am living the dream. And for those of you guys watching at home, you're kind of noticing something a little different here. Notice we're wearing some headsets. What's this about?
Well, we got our sideline reporter, one Mr. Scotty Too Hottie Cameron.
Scotty Too Hottie Cameron. So we were unable to get Aaron Andrews, but ladies and gentlemen, with us right now is the illustrious, magnificent science teacher, Scott Cameron.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate that. I am definitely not as good looking as Aaron Andrews. Well, I don't know. Some people might say that, but I don't quite have the hair, so Todd understands that. Hey, it's a great night out here. Man, this is perfect weather. I mean, the atmosphere, it's like stands are starting to fill up. You know, man, Galion's brought all their players. We're looking forward to tonight. What are you guys thinking about tonight's game?
Well, when I think about tonight's game, I think about you have two teams coming off losses. You had a Galion team that was 3-0, lost a tough one. Yeah, actually, take that back. Galion
beat RV.
Galion beat RV. So Galion coming to the game 2-1, beat RV. Prexies went into the game last week 2-1, and kind of didn't play real well against Pleasant. They let a scrappy team hang around, and they ended up losing the ball game. So you got a team coming off a big win, a team coming off a disappointing loss. It could be anybody's game.
Absolutely, Coach. What I wanted to see, some consistency with this President's team. We had last time we were home, right? We let Newark hang around for that, first half, and then a lot of that third quarter before scoring 33 unanswered. With the Pleasant situation, you got a 2-touchdown plus lead that you let slip through your hands. So definitely want to see the Presidents put a consistent 48 minutes together.
Absolutely, and really what we need to see tonight is we need to see the Prexies put together a full 4 quarters, something they haven't done yet. And we're gonna go down to Mr. Cameron on the field where the band is standing right now, and there you go, Mr. Cameron.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do the national anthem and stuff here in a little bit. And like you guys said, I mean, it really is, what team's going to show up for Galion tonight? I know they've had some struggles, but they have some really strong victories. And I tell you what, I know they have one player, last name's Donaldson, number 17, and that kid can flat out play some football. He's a football player. He's born and bred to play football. And cool story about him, he was born and the doctors told his parents he wasn't ever going to play sports. And here he is. He's out here for Galion playing great football. And we do have the athletes at Harding to match up with them. It's just going to be what system are we going to be able to contain them? It's hard to stop a player like that. You have to try and contain athletes like that. It's going to be real interesting to see what happens and develops.
Absolutely. Like Coach Cameron brings up, Galion has an amazing running back. So for the Prexies tonight, it's going to be about stopping the run, limiting the mistakes, and putting together 4 quarters of football, Coach. Well, as always, we're excited to be here with you guys. We're going to go off air here for a second, but we're going to stay live so we can listen to the band, national anthem, and then we're going to be back. And bear with us tonight as we work through our brand new setup of having a sideline reporter. We do it big time here at Marion Harding High School Telecom with John Mullins and his class. One of the beautiful things we do in Marion City Schools. So
he's the best. He's the best, Todd.
He's the best. So go Prexies. Stick around, folks.
and gentlemen, please rise, remove your caps, and join the award-winning Marion Marching Band with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a wonderful, wonderful rendition of the national anthem. And if you notice tonight, Coach Keplinger, our band is in full regalia.
It's warm, Coach. They are, but it is warm. Summer decided to hang around for another week.
Well, and you know, Coach Cameron, down there on the field, can you talk to us a little bit about what the conditions feel like down there on the field?
I tell you what, it feels really nice as the shadows are starting to come over. You know, the stands, the trees behind it. You know, I tell you what, man, it's a beautiful night for football. You couldn't ask for a better night. It feels great down here, but I know you guys are up there in that press box, and it's a little tight up there. And they don't give you air conditioning, do they?
No, they don't. But here's the most important question of all. You're close to the grills down there. How good does it smell?
I haven't gotten down there to smell it quite yet. I have tried to taste it, though. That's one of my other 5 senses, but it doesn't taste very well.
All right. So here we are. We're going to go back to the wide view here for the kickoff. And looks like the Prexies are going to receive what is so affectionately known as the Rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is tradition, everybody up for the kickoff.
All right, our fine PA announcer there. I'm sure you guys can hear him.
For Galion,
Coach
number 33,
Brett McCreary.
Campbell. Back deep for the Prexies, Kyrie Scott and Caden Fags.
Caden Fags and Kyrie Scott, two dangerous, dangerous men.
And Laundry, the first play of the game.
Oh my goodness. You're not allowed to wash your yellows with your whites. Or maybe your whites were yellow and then you washed them. I don't know. All right, let's see what the zebra calls here.
A delay a game.
A delay a game.
To start the game.
That might be a harbinger of doom right there.
You stick around long enough, you're going to see everything here, huh?
I'm telling you. You are 100% right about that, Coach Keplinger. We have broadcast, I'm going to say, about 30 to 40-some games together, you and I, and we've seen a lot. Delays, all kinds of stuff. That's the first I've ever seen that.
Short kick.
Galion smartly kicks it.
That's where the Presidents will take over 1st and 10.
Dr. Smooth on the fair catch there, taking no chances, take the field position.
Absolutely.
Starting quarterback number 10, Brady Wink.
Dr. Smooth, like we talked about, parents' own Attaboys. I don't know if you had a chance to eat there yet or not, but it's a wonderful restaurant. His parents are great supporters of the Marion Harding High School football program and just wonderful people altogether. All right, so let's see what the Prexies do out of the gate here, Coach Keplinger.
We're going a little iPhone?
It looks that way. Looks
Malachi
like,
Robinson
looks like maybe a yard, maybe.
Superfly, not much going
brought down on the play by Campbell.
Well,
Well,
thing I happened to
And
notice too with
Griffith,
that
gain
Galion,
of
too,
1,
there's
second and 9.
some size on that line for Galion.
Yeah, absolutely, there is. And, you know, one of the things that the Prexies have just not done well this year, we all know Wink can throw the ball. We all know Wink has receivers, but one thing we just have not done well is run the ball. So I like the fact that we're coming out here in an eye and trying to establish the run.
Do it again.
Robinson the ball carrier.
Looks like
Brought down by the interior of the Tiger line.
maybe a pickup of 2
Pick up
third.
of 1, 3rd and 8.
Oh, 3rd and 8. All right, 3rd and 8.
Seems like an obvious passing down here.
Yeah, I would.
More the president's bread and butter.
Yeah, I would say that you are correct about that, sir. This is a passing down. Although they're still in an I formation.
No doubt, no doubt.
All right. Maybe a little play action here, possibly. Nope. Toss.
Good lead block.
Robinson the ball carrier. Brought down by number 16, Sam Weggeson.
That call.
Also by number 5, Lincoln Tyrell.
Wondered if with that play call that was maybe 4 down territory.
Pick up
Close
of
to midfield there.
Brings up a 4th and 4 for the Presidents.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they ran the ball, but
back deep for the Tigers.
but nothing doing on the first set of downs for the Prexies.
The mayor with the punt. Good
Nice punt by Hensley.
Friendly president's bounce.
Yeah, friendly president's bounce, absolutely. All right, we're going to go down to the field here with Coach Cameron.
Hensley's punt travels 25 yards down at the Galion.
Defense is really stout, and that's going to be one of their biggest tests. So it looks like they're trying to soften them up, take some of their work away, and let's see what happens with them. Looks like that's part of the game plan. And I noticed we've had some different kickers here last week, this week. Let's see what they do on defense.
Absolutely. Thank you for that insight there, Coach Cameron. We'll, and it looks like there's a timeout, Galion. And with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break with Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
Years. Manufacturing has changed. There was a time when people would spend countless hours pushing buttons, pulling levers, and swinging hammers. One day, things began to change. One day, things became smart. Buttons, levers, and hammers became apps, computers, and robots. Manufacturing has changed. Marion Harding High School is proud to be part of that change by offering an advanced manufacturing course. Integrated production technologies will...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production where Galion had a penalty right off the bat and took a timeout. So the Prexies had the ball, quick 3 and out, and we'll see if Galion will stick with the run that they were so successful with last week.
Donaldson with the carry here. Just as predicted by one Coach Cameron in the pregame.
Looks like Turner and Scott on the stop there.
Pickup of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6.
Gonna have to check the numbers here and see how many of these linemen are playing both ways for Galion too. I think Coach Cameron makes a good point here with wearing them down. So.
Absolutely, I got to tell you, 77 for Galion's a big hoss. Going to tell you that youngster's name here in a minute.
Little play action. Ooh.
And that
good stick. Some
was
laundry.
a nice hit there by Wes Stokes there for the Prexies, but you got to be a little careful there that they don't call him for a hit on a defenseless receiver. And Galion had an ineligible man downfield. I tell you what, though, like I said, Stokes, I love the hit that he gave, but in today's game, if you hit a defenseless receiver like that and you stick him like that, you're playing with disaster because lots of times you're going to call that a foul. I like the play by Stokes. I like the hustle. But you got to be careful when doing that, Coach.
Yeah, how do you rectify that then in this game? People going over the middle, you know, how do you deal with?
Unfortunately, you can't, but that's just where we're at right now with the rules, you know. And it's not going to change. It's not going to change because, you know, people want to make money off fantasy football. And what happens in the NFL trickles down to the high school level.
This little 3-3 stack look from Harding on defense here.
Little bit, yeah. Little bit. Little bit. Looks like jumping off sides there for the Prexies. Looks like Adam Baker, number 20. That's the first I have seen him at nose guard this year. So I think that's 20. If
it looks like a 20 to me. Yeah, a little personnel change with the formation change.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. Let's see what Galion dials up here on 2nd and 6.
Donaldson.
All right. Galion stays true to form. Give the ball to Donaldson. Looks
Barracuda, the first one there.
Yeah, Barracuda.
Pickup of 2, 3rd and 2.
I got to tell you, those first couple albums by heart, which Barracudas I think is on Dreamboat Annie. What an amazing album that is.
I randomly got called by Roger Fisher, or whoever the bassist was, on that once. Lived next to friends I have in Seattle, and they're like, "Hey, you want to talk to him?" I'm like, "Sure,
why not?" I mean, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now, right? So,
good call. Yeah, we got Donaldson looking like he's going to take a direct snap here.
Yeah, and that is exactly what happens. That is a great play by Kyrie Scott. And what looks like a punting situation here.
Loss of ball on play, 4th and 3.
All right. Galion might be going for it here. All right, they're going for it. They must have a lot of faith in this Donaldson kid, but considering that we are 5 games into the year and this young man already has 1,000 yards rushing, I guess I can't blame him.
If it ain't broke.
Absolutely. Looks like the Prexies have had a pretty good defensive game plan so far, though. See if they can hold up here on 4th.
Another Wildcat look. Direct snap. Ball's on the ground.
He fumbled it. Looks like they may have fell on it for a first down.
Looks like he had first down when he fumbled there. But, yeah, definitely Galion recovers that ball.
Fumbled it, but Galion fell on it for the first down. Not bad there by the Prexies. They're able to contain Donaldson. I would have liked to see him get a stop there on 4th down, but we live to play another day. I tell you what, coaches are just getting more and more antsy on those 4th downs. They said, last week in the NFL, people went on 4th down more times than any other weekend in NFL history.
Yet I think the second part of that article was, and it's still not enough.
Nice play. Number 16, Bradley Pennington, and Kobe. The Barracuda. Nice. Now they're playing behind the sticks while we're up here doing terrible impressions of the rock band Heart.
Coach Stone's favorite rock band, actually.
Yeah, I've heard lots of times that one Robert Stone loves Heart.
I think they're beautiful impressions, guys. Don't let anyone tell you you're not worthy.
Motion.
Oh! And I'm going to tell you what, Prexies got lucky on that because number 80, Damian Kimball dropped the ball. Speaking of Kimball, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in Kindergarten Cop was named Lieutenant Kimball. Don't ask me why I remember that, but I do.
Impressive.
I know.
I think it's an underrated Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, if I'm being honest.
It's probably one of the better ones he's ever done. All right, 3rd and long here. You got to believe this is a passing down for the Tigers of Galion.
Screen. Ball's out again.
I think the Prexies,
And a flag.
I'm seeing a lot of Prexies saying, we got it. We got it. All right. Hey, we're going to go down to the sideline with Mr. Scott Cameron to give us an update on the field.
I tell you what, that was awesome. Great hit. Here's the big thing. I thought the big number 57 for them fell right on it. It must have squeaked out there like a wet bar of soap, and here we go. Black team's got it. Let's try and score some touchdowns, boys. Woo!
All right, Coach Cameron calling for the home run ball right away, huh?
Absolutely, and that might be the greatest analogy we've ever had on this broadcast, like a wet bar of soap. I got to tell you what, though, that was an amazing play call by Galion. And what has to happen is OD linemen have to know, listen, you can be a good rusher, but you're not that good. If you get upfield that much, you got to know it's a screen.
Wink flushed out of the pocket there. After establishing the run, or trying to establish the run, definitely looked like we're going back to that air raid offense we've seen here the past 4 weeks.
2 on the play, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, we started out trying to establish the run, and on that one we went back to the passing game, but looks like everyone was covered downfield, and Wink just had no choice but to tuck and run. But that's a smart play by Wink because he's not trying to force things. If it's not there, don't force it, and you live to play another day.
Jump ball to Megatron. Well defended, but there is a flag on the far side.
I think he was trying to buy him a card to the Sadie Hawkins dance, and the referee was like, no soup for you, young man. No soup for you.
Defensive pass interference is the call.
All right. I'll take those all day, every day, Coach. What about you?
Absolutely. And with that, let's go to Coach Cameron down on the field.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
And you know what, last week, if you went to the game at Pleasant last week, there were some really close calls, real tough passes, and could have gone either way. So let's see what happens. Pass interference, that went in our favor that time, and we got to capitalize on their errors. They've had a lot of errors now. We've got to capitalize on all those penalties. We had our fair share last week. They're getting theirs now this week.
Absolutely. Wink's got the ball. He looks, he steps, and he throws. Nice.
Hold on to the
And I'm going to tell you what, Kyrie Scott put a little hot sauce on that and said, you ain't going to tackle me.
Had a whole family den of tigers with him. I don't know what a family of tigers is called. A pack of tigers?
Would a family of titans be called titanium? I don't know. I don't know.
Nonetheless, gotta like the yards after the catch.
Absolutely you do. Nice little counter play there. Superfly with a nice little push by Mikey Morales Bush.
Brought down by Landon Campbell and Carson Frankhouse.
Checking into the ball game
2nd and 6.
for the Prexies is Jalen Williams. Looks like checking out is big Cameron Rayner. And by big, I mean 6'1", 370 pounds. That's a lot of young man right there.
Shotgun look again. Home run ball.
He caught it!
Oh.
He caught it!
Touchdown.
Wow. So listen.
Megatron.
I'm going to tell you what I think happened there. I think the guy intercepted it, and he took it out of his hand. But listen, we're going to go down to Coach Cameron on the sideline to give us a play-by-play.
Hey, I tell you what, it's very obvious they are seeing that weakness in the fade route. That's a second play out of 3, 4, that they've called that exact same thing. They are eyeing that corner, and they think they have a huge advantage. Obviously they do. Hey, we capitalize on that penalty, boys. Capitalize on the fumble and the penalty.
All right.
You're not wrong, and big West Stokes going to be a matchup problem for Galion tonight, I believe.
I think you're 100% right. Megatron, West Stokes is going to be a problem. And I'm going to tell you what, I would be willing to bet if we were able to have replay, we would see that both of those guys caught it. I think it was a dual catch, And what happened was Stokes just ripped it out of his hands and stood up and held up the ball. So if anything, that was a great heads-up play by Wesley Stokes, Megatron. And if anything, we need to give that boy an Oscar because that was some darn good acting right there, man. But we're up 7-0, so
Somewhere
I'll take that
Randy
all day,
Moss
every day.
smiled.
Speaking of Oscars, have there ever been any football movies that have won Best Picture or garnered anybody a statue?
Huh.
We're going to have to Google that
Let's
one.
go, Prexy fans. Everybody up for the kickoff.
Ooh.
I don't think Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans is a great movie. Don't think it happened.
The Tigers,
That's a good one.
Donaldson and Ivy.
I think you got me stumped.
Coach Cameron's down on the field saying maybe Varsity Blues, but somehow I don't think any MTV-produced movies have won any Oscars.
Nice kick from the mayor.
Donaldson on return.
Tackled by a
Donaldson
slew of Prexies.
tackled by a cabinet of presidents.
Looks like Dr. Smooth, the Barracuda, and number 17, who is the Barracuda. Okay.
Ball will be spotted at the Galion 29.
Hey guys, I was just sitting there watching that play. Donaldson got tackled. He pushed off our guy. He's frustrated, so that could be really good or really bad. We're going to keep containing him, hopefully, and keep this defense stopping him. But he's getting real frustrated. You can tell by his body language, his shoulders slumping forward. See what happens with it.
All right. Great insight there, Coach Cameron.
Empty look. Donaldson in the slot here.
Oh, and he one-handed it.
It's a little decoy play for him.
Absolutely.
Brought down by Jacob Orange. Pickup of 2, second 8.
It looks like they're coming out here a lot in trips. It looks like we got number 17 out there in the slot. Number 17 is Hannah Donaldson, and he's quick. The Prex is going to have to keep an eye on him and make sure that we're not getting any swing passes or anything like that out into the flats to that young man.
Empty look here for Galion.
Oh, you just
Right to him.
right on cue. Oh!
Complete to Donaldson. Brought down by Bradley Pennington.
By the way, while we're here, got to make sure I give a shout out to none other than the illustrious, world-famous, now living in Florida, none other than former two-time Prexy head football coach, John the Hammer Brady. We love you, Coach Brady, and we know you're watching this down in sunny Florida.
Hope the golf's treating you all right.
I talked to him the other day, he said golf and pickleball.
Oh, I'm pretty good at pickleball.
John Brady still owes me Alabama tickets, by the way.
and
Oh, fumble.
Donaldson fumbles it. Tries, oh!
That's an incomplete pass, boys. That's a forward pass
Just
down
forward.
here. You could see it. Yep.
All right, the Prexies right now are befuddling the Tigers of Galion.
It's seeming to read their keys and key in there on Donaldson, and right now seems like he's about their only method to gaining yards there. So, hey, way to watch the film, get your scouting reports, and so far so good for the defense.
And one of the things that Coach Cameron brought up at the beginning of the broadcast is the fact that they got a lot of guys going both ways on the offense and defensive line. Ooh, and the Prexies almost blocked that. Fags is going to let that go. Oh, never mind. No, he's not.
Makes one miss.
I tell you what.
I think field position-wise, the way that was bouncing, he had to field that. By
Yeah,
the time
I mean,
that was.
it's dangerous to catch that. But Fags is a dangerous, dangerous man with the ball in his hands. And by catching that, he actually kept the ball from getting a chance to get downed on the, 1 or 2 yard line. Prex got a long way to go, though.
Be interesting to see what the play calls are here in the third drive.
Well,
Got one that was solely run, one that was pretty heavy pass.
Well, you know what I would like to see? What I would really like to see is that toss play that they ran on 3rd down on the first series, they got about 5 or 6 yards on that. The problem was they needed about 7 or 8.
Yeah, you got to just
well, here we go. We're in an eye, so we'll see.
And see if they can get on schedule here on 1st down.
Stop the ball carrier.
All right, looks like about a 4, maybe 5-yard gain. So, maybe 6. Hold on, he keeps walking. Okay, 5 yards, 5 yards.
Yeah, that'll work for
that'll
starting
work.
a drive on schedule.
I will take that all day, Uri day. Who's the rapper that says Uri day? Uri. I don't know.
You've aged me on that reference too, man.
Uri day.
I form.
Little toss.
There's your toss. Good lead blocks there. Nice seal. Way to pull from the mallet there, and he's blocking his guy back onto the bench.
I'm going to tell you, if you're a little kid sitting at home and you want to know how to play the game, there's one person you should hone your eyes on every single play when he's on the field, and that is Caden the Mallet Hill. And I still don't think they know where they're going to set the ball. Is it a 1st down? Is it not a 1st down? The guy with the sticks over there is wondering what's going on.
Everybody wants to know what's going on.
Oh, they're going to measure it. And while they're measuring this, let's go down in the field with Mr. Scott Cameron.
Hey, I tell you what, we were just kind of talking about it, thinking about that. We really did have to kind of get that ball in that punt because Galion was right there. They were going to probably down inside the 5 and really pin us back. So if Ags was able to get the ball, give us a couple yards, that first play, that first belly play, that's a crucial play. Sets up a 1st down. Keep the momentum going, boys.
All right, and with that, while we were down there talking to who is not Aaron Andrews, I think we've already established that. He is actually a 39-year-old science teacher, father of Macy, and a softball player extraordinaire. The Prexies got a 1st down there, Coach Kaplinger. Your thoughts on that?
Hey, we'll take it. I think Coach Cameron was spot on there with his analysis. Even from fielding that punt, keep you from being too far pinned back. Obviously, you get the 5 yards on 1st down, you go to that pitch, and got something cooking.
All right, Prexies hand the ball off again. Man, he almost
nearly broke that one.
By Kyle Faust and a host of Tigers. Not before a pickup of 7. 2nd and 3.
Harding's starting to find some success running the ball here.
Well, and once again, that's what they lacked last week. Listen, I'm never going to be critical of the play calls or anything like that, but one of the things that really hurt them last week was their inability in the 2nd half to run the ball and stick to the run. And because of that, a scrappy team like Pleasant was able to stay in the ball game. So I'm really pleased to see the Prexies running the ball here. And Kyrie Scott, just like that, the Prexies are imposing their will.
Gabe Ivy, pick up of 4, a 1st down, Prexy.
And it looks like Galion has taken some of their big defensive line horses out of the game, and the Prexies know that, which is why they're dialing up runs, Coach.
Yeah, I wonder if that play calling on the 2nd drive set that up. Big nose tackle not going to do you too much good if you're going against jet sweeps or going against screens or anything like that out in space.
Absolutely. No, you are 100% right.
A little bit of a chess match. I like it.
All right, folks, that's the end of the 1st quarter. Prexies 7, Tigers 0. We're going to take a quick commercial break with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
historic OK Cafe.
Pizza, calzones, subs, sandwiches, and more.
Ball is placed at the President's 38-yard line, 2nd and 5.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And I am pulling double duty right now as the student had to step away, so not only am I on the microphone, but I'm also filming. Is there anything I can't do? Apparently grow hair is one of them.
Produced by Todd Schneider. Color commentary by Todd Schneider. Barracuda with the carry.
Kobe.
Johnson on the carry.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to quote the world-famous coach, principal Robert Stone when he said, and I quote, "Kid can play.
Kid can play.
Kid can play."
I can go for that.
You can go for that?
I can. Switch it up this week.
You know who else can go for that? Hall & Oates.
Didn't take us long.
Nope, it didn't. Our 80s and 90s pop culture references are thick tonight, folks. Little toss play there.
Superfly tackle for loss.
Nice defense there by Galion. And
Down in the backfield by a host of Tigers.
well,
Loss of 1, 4th and 4.
and the one thing I like that the Prexies aren't doing tonight, they're not riverboat gambling here. They're just going to go ahead and punt it away, which I think is a smart play by the coaches here.
You think the field position game, go win that. And I think with that, kind of the new looks that you've been getting here, that, hang it on your defense,
And look at that. Nice Prexy bounce. The ball is on the 20-yard line. With that, let's go down to Coach Cameron with an update.
Yeah, that was I was saying in the ears to you guys before that kick, this is going to be a really big punt. They had Donaldson back there, plenty of space on that side of the field. That was a great punt by Hensley, split the receivers, let the ball bounce. That was a crucial punt. I could kind of sense that because they finally stopped us on defense. Their defensive linemen are out. They're not, we're kind of moving the ball. So that was a great punt. Like Jim Tressel said, the punt's one of the most important parts of the game, right, boys?
Absolutely it is. And Woody Hayes also said only three things can happen when you pass the ball, and 2 of them are bad. Oh, nice tackle there by
Donaldson, the ball carrier, brought down by Rashawn Turner.
They're giving it to Turner, but I think it was Baker on the tackle.
It was Baker. And you know what Baker did on that? Got about a dozen.
Hey.
You know what a Baker's dozen is?
That's 13.
About 13. By the way, Coach Cameron, I know you can hear me right now. I don't want you to go live, but I want to let you know that the wings have arrived. So all is well in football land, sir. The wings have arrived.
I was going to say,
Is this heaven?
If the wings are in and Diablo Verde staying away, we're really in business.
Donaldson, the ball carrier.
Nice carry there by Donaldson. Still it's going to be maybe about 3rd and 1.
Cam Ross, pickup of 9, 31.
Well, and I'm going to tell you what the Prexies are doing here that I like. The defense is flying around, they're hitting hard, and they're making plays. Donaldson had a long 9-yard run on that, but I'm going to tell you what, he took a lick at the end of that. So kudos to the Prexies, man. They came out here tonight to play defense with a purpose, and so far, I like what I'm seeing.
Without a doubt, going to be on a different Tiger here to get it on this crucial 3rd down play.
Oh!
Good blocking.
Tell you what, that opened up like the Red Sea.
Not much you can do there.
That opened up like a Kleenex factory in Ann Arbor after the last 11 Michigan-Ohio State games.
Hey-o.
I don't know if there's a Kleenex factory in Ann Arbor, but I'm guessing there probably is. There's lots of trees up there.
Nope, Donaldson's been spelled out here since taking that hit on 2nd down.
Looks like first up on the play was number 1 for the Prexies, and I don't know who that is.
That's Mr. Goodbar.
That's Mr. Goodbar. How could I forget that young man, Jacob Mr. Goodbar? Nice play by Jake the Snake. 2nd and long. Galion's behind the sticks. They have doubles up top.
Roll out. Good completion there, number 19.
Well, and I'm going to tell you what happened. Our corner down there rode a vertical route there that he should have bumped off onto the safety, which allowed that to come open in the flat. Our corner has to have better awareness of what's going on, because the safety would have been able to take that vertical route, and if he would have jumped the flat like he should have, he may have got himself a pick, or at the very least kept him from catching the ball.
A little bit of different formation there with some eye candy in motion too, so hopefully that's called incomplete. I'm not sure. We'll have to go back and check the replay.
I know I get excited, but I thought that was a lateral. But either way, we're going to go live to the field with Coach Cameron.
I tell you what, I don't know where Donaldson is. He's been out here for a while. He took that hit. I noticed he was really frustrated early in the game, kind of throwing players around, players ripping tape off. He's been walking up and down their sideline. That's going to be something that's really going to stymie their offense. So that might be a big development here in this game. Let's see what happens with it.
The give.
All right, and the Prexies, a slew of Prexies there.
I think the Arneater was the first one there.
I'm going to tell you what, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Jacob Arndt's mullet tonight. I know we talked about it in our last broadcast, but I'm going to tell you what, there's a young man by the name of Billy Ray Cyrus who would be jealous of that mullet.
He came in after our last home broadcast and he said, "So you got the 3rd best hair in class, huh?" I said, "I told you it was 3rd best."
All right, nice stop there by the Prexies. We'll see if Galion will try to go for it here on 4th, or they'll punt the ball.
Donaldson on that carry, so he's back in the game.
Okay, Donaldson, like you said, is back in the game. It's going to be 4th and roughly 5 for Galion here. Looks like they're going to stick with it. Maybe they'll try to possibly draw the Prexies off sides here.
Yes, the yardage seems about right for that, doesn't it?
All right. We'll see what they do here. Looks like Donaldson's going to be a QB. Galion's in trips here. They're going to get a delay of game. Never mind, they call a timeout. We're going to take a quick commercial break here with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
Interact. The goal of exercise science is to develop an understanding and applied knowledge of the links between fitness, exercise, diet, and health. Harding High School is proud to offer students interested in athletic training, sports medicine, physical therapy, occupational therapy, or personal fitness an opportunity to pursue a career pathway in this emerging field. As a student of exercise science, you will gain real-world experience in anatomy and physiology, on and off-the-field injury evaluation, wound care, taping and bandaging, emergency care, exercise and rehab programming, and much more. For more information, contact your guidance counselor or see Coach Cunningham in Room 9.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back where the Galion Tigers have it on 4th and 5. And we were talking during the break here, and Coach Cameron seems to think possibly that Galion may try some sort of run here with Donaldson. We'll see, though.
It sure looks that way.
And that's exactly what they did.
Laying the mallet.
The mallet, Hill, and Coach Arndt chest bumped him so hard, he almost knocked him into Upper Sandusky. He almost knocked him into Upper Sandusky.
Man, it's fun to watch Caden Hill play football, isn't it?
I tell you what, there's lots of things, and the student section's chanting his name, but I'm going to tell you what, there's lots of things in this world you can coach. Some kids are lucky and have lots of talent, but a kid like Caden, and I'm not saying Caden doesn't have talent, but there's one thing you can't coach, and that's heart, and Caden Hill has it by the barrel full, ladies and gentlemen. Love that young man.
Looking to air raid again. Wink makes 2 miss.
That was pretty bad down here.
I'm going to tell you, Wink tucked the ball and he ran, but I'm going to tell you what, man, he missed wide open in the flats over there was Malachi. Nobody was on Malachi. Nobody. I'm telling you, if he'd have thrown that ball to Malachi, we'd be letting off fireworks right now because Malachi would be dancing in the end zone.
And that flag's been picked up. Very interesting.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
Been picked up here. 2nd and 10 for the Presidents. Shotgun look.
Wink drops back.
There he finds the flats.
Wings pass intended for Robinson.
Just a little behind Robinson. 3rd and 10 for the Presidents.
All right, let's see what the Prexies can do here. Five minutes and 36 seconds left in the first half. Let's see if the Prexies can get a first down here. Nice pocket. Oh, and he just put too much on it.
It looked like a timing route a little bit that just didn't quite break in time, and then there was just a little too much mustard on that.
Yep, little too much. Well, and I'm going to tell you, I understand why the Prexies are throwing the ball because we do it well. We scored a touchdown on it, but I also want to see us stick with the run because I believe it's there. I believe it's there. What we got to do is we got to run, mix in some play action, and what starts happening, they respect the run. Those passes are going to open up with play action.
I was going to say, especially the athletes Harding has at wide receiver, that's going to be a tough matchup once that opens. Friendly Tiger bounce there.
Yeah, very friendly Tiger bounce.
Hensley's punt is good for 14 yards.
No, the mayor would want that punt back.
At the Galion 48, first down Tigers.
Lunch pail time for the defense.
You're absolutely right, Coach Keplinger. Lunch pail time for the defense. And I want to apologize to you guys watching this. Our microphones have gone out a little bit here, and hearing Mr. Cameron on the sideline right now is not going to happen, but that's okay. Doesn't mean we can't fix it and bring him back to you in the second half.
Late incomplete call.
That was a late pass. And I'm going to tell you what, we got some Galion coaches up here, and they're a little upset. So if you heard a little, little expletive there or a little excitement.
They've got some opinions today.
They've got some opinions, and they ain't happy. And that's okay. They're allowed to be unhappy.
Second down.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
Donaldson, the ball carrier.
The Prexies so far, that was a decent run there by Donaldson.
They're swarming, though.
3rd and 4.
Yeah. Barracuda nearly blew that one up in the backfield.
He did. He just, well, I'm going to tell you what. Barracuda came flying through, but one of the things he did, Coach, was he put his head down, and he didn't really see what he was tackling. And at the last minute, he reached his hand up and was able to kind of grab him and slow him down. You just got to keep that head up and see what you're tackling.
Shows blitz just a little bit.
Yeah, that blitz was just a little off there. What happens on that blitz when we come off the edge? If we come just a little flatter down the line, you might catch Donaldson there in the backfield.
First down for Galion.
All right, the Tigers with good field position to start off this drive have mustered a first down, so don't want to start saying they have a drive going yet, but they certainly have a first down after getting good field position to start this drive. Little counter double there. You had the backside guard and tackle pull.
Pick up a 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
Our PA announcer says 2nd and 7, but I'm going to say that looks more like a 2nd and 6, but who's counting? Because I'm not. Clock is ticking down here. Beautiful evening tonight, Coach Kaplinger.
Oh.
Looks like we got a full moon coming up here soon.
Yeah, I think there's one on Monday.
Yeah, pray for your teachers and your nurses and all those folks. Nice.
Nothing going there.
Looks like
The
Hill,
mallet.
Turner, and Scott, the law firm of Hill, Turner, and Scott.
You may be entitled to tackle for losses.
You don't get paid unless I get. Oh crap! I might have copyright infringed on that one.
Oh no! Don't finish it! Don't finish it. Into 3rd and 07. We'll call it the 7 now.
All right.
Clock continues to tick.
A skosh of change. Quarterback keeper.
I thought that was a pretty disciplined read there from the Presidents on defense, too.
That was, absolutely. Looks like 4th and about 2.
Have to imagine Galion's going for this.
Well, and what they're going to do here, I really think they're going to do a little trickeration here. It's probably going to be a little RPO here. See if the Prexies can get a stop here on 4th.
Give to Donaldson. Ball's on the ground.
And he fumbled the ball out of bounds.
Is out of bounds.
That's a Prexies ball. It's a Prexies ball. Yep.
First down.
First
Presidents.
down Prexies. All right. So if I'm the Prexies, here's what I got to do. First of all, you have 3 timeouts. Galion has 1. What I'm doing here, if I'm the Prexies, is I am going to try to establish the run. Do not go for the kill. Do not go for the home run ball. You have the lead, and I'll tell you what, you feel a lot different going into halftime with the lead. If you run the ball here and you run it well, you can conserve your lead going into halftime. Let's see what the Prexies do here.
Personnel change.
And that is why you don't throw the ball. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it again. You have the lead, 2 minutes left. They have 1 timeout. Run the ball, kill the clock.
I think that was Alex Stokes' first pass today, too. So looks like he definitely cued in on that first read there and wanted to force the issue a little bit.
Absolutely. And listen, Stokes is a great athlete.
Yeah,
I understand why we got him back there.
Play happen. Absolutely.
Absolutely. If anything, you got Stokes back there. Just run the ball, for Pete's sakes.
Looking to air it out.
Stokes pass intended for Wesley Stokes falls incomplete. Defended on the play by Ivy, 3rd and 10.
And now makes it a clock management game for Galion here.
Well, and what we just did there is we literally took like 3 seconds off the clock there. Literally took 3 seconds off the clock. If you do 3 straight runs there, you might mess around, get a first down, kill the clock.
Wink back in. Steps up. Just misses Caden.
So what happens there is we take exactly 8 seconds off the clock. 8. And now we punt the ball, possibly giving Galion 2 minutes with 1 timeout and the ball.
The mayor back to punt.
So hope he gets a good punt off here, because if not, Galion will have great field position.
Good punt. Gets a nice Harding bounce.
Takes a great Harding bounce. I'll take that all day long, but we still give Galion lots of time with 1 timeout and an explosive tailback to possibly tie this game up at halftime.
Punt rolls out of bounds at the Tiger 30. That's a 41-yard punt, and that's where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10.
PA says Hensley's going to net 40 yards on that punt. Not too shabby.
That's not too shabby for a high school punter. Tell you what, with the way offenses play these days and the way coaches are riverboat gamblers, punting and great punting is becoming a thing of the past, quite frankly. So that's a good job by that young man. All right, looks like Galion comes out and empty set here. Trips down low, doubles up top.
Nothing going.
Nice sack there. Adam Baker. Adam Baker.
I think good job by Mr. Goodbar there, forcing that pressure. Got the quarterback running right into that nose tackle.
Absolutely.
Well read, nothing going.
Nice play there by Jacob Barnes. And I'm going to tell you what they did there. They ran like some scissor crossing routes there, man. That was...
Mr. Pennington laying the hammer.
All right, looks like Galion calls a timeout. We're going to take a quick commercial break with Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
Chemistry is the science and study of matter, including its properties, composition, as well as reactivity. Chemistry relates to everything that can be sensed in our physical world. It's important to understand chemistry if you are studying any of the sciences because all of the sciences involve matter and the interactions between types of matter. The study...
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, where the Prexies have the Tigers of Galion pinned. Right now it's 3rd and 12, 1 minute and 14 seconds left. Prexies have a 7-0 lead, and Galion has really not been able to get much going offensively tonight. So let's see what if the Prexie defense can tighten up here. Got to believe Galion's going to try to hit a home run ball here.
Oh, just threaded the needle on that.
Nice hit. Still first down, though.
The receiver got out of bounds, too.
And the ball's out of bounds.
But not before a 20-yard gain and a first down Tigers.
It's a nice downfield pass for a Galion team that hasn't tried to stretch the field with the pass too much tonight.
No, absolutely, they have not. Coming out in that same, looks like a little motion to quads possibly. Low snap.
Screen.
Holding.
Tons of flags.
Man downfield.
Game's pass complete to Ivy, brought down on the play by Bradley Pennington.
Pennington sticking some people tonight,
I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to start calling Pennington the Sycamore because that kid's bringing the blood.
Hey.
Oh, Galion holding.
As predicted, Galion holds.
A Prexie favorable penalty there. By the way, once again, please make sure when you're watching this broadcast that you stick with it and watch our decorated, celebrated, amazing Marion Harding High School band, as they will be putting on their show tonight for the first time in full regalia for the home fans.
Little soft spot in the zone there. Donaldson, who would have guessed?
First down, Galion. Flag on the play.
It's flag on the play. I don't know if that'll be against us. It looks like they're pointing our way, but it looks like it's deep in the backfield there, so maybe it's holding. Hopefully it's not roughing the passer. I don't know if they can...
Personal foul of some sorts. We didn't get the specifics on it.
I don't know if they tack that on to the end of the play, because if they do, that sure gives Galion a lot of yardage.
You're not kidding. Hoping it's one of those hustle ones, too, and not one of those extraneous ones that plagued us a little bit last week.
Absolutely.
And we may talk about this. We may mark it off because we haven't yet. Yep.
Never mind.
Personal fouls declined.
Personal fouls declined. It's not one of those ones that's tacked on. Listen, for as many years as I've coached football, watched football, broadcast football, sometimes I still don't understand all the rules. Oh!
Ball's on the ground.
Recovered by Donaldson in the backfield.
And
Loss of 6, second 16.
the clock is still running for Galion.
I think they burnt that timeout too, so it's
Yeah, they did. Well, they may have one left.
giddy
Looks
up
like
time.
they're going to try. I guarantee they're going to try to hit a home run ball here.
Get the ball carrier. Brought down by Turner and Barr. Pick up the 5.
And I tell you what, Galion's done everything they can to give us gifts on this, but looks like Galion's going to take their final timeout. We're going to take a quick commercial break with Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
Focused on developing self-confidence, discipline, citizenship, leadership skills, and a sense of responsibility within the individual cadet. Throughout this course, cadets will focus on developing citizenship and patriotism. They will develop self-reliance and responsiveness to all authority, improving the ability to communicate well both orally and in writing. They will develop an appreciation of the importance of physical fitness. They will increase a respect for the role of the U.S. Armed Forces in support of national objectives. They will develop a knowledge of team building skills and basic military skills. In addition, anyone taking the 1 to 3 years of this course grants cadets the ability to rank higher should they pursue a military career pathway. For more information...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here where the Galion Tigers have 13 seconds. 13 seconds, no timeouts left, and it's 3rd and 11, and they have 44 yards roughly to try to hit pay dirt in 13 seconds. Now, you could maybe throw a quick little out here, get the ball out of bounds, and maybe have one more shot, or you're just maybe try to get all in one play, Coach. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. The longest one I've seen from longest pass tonight's probably within 20 yards, so I'm thinking that's in 2.
Oh!
Pass is batted down by Jacob Barr.
Jacob Barr.
Bring up a 4th and 11.
Jacob Barr putting
All
a
right.
little flex on, beating
All right,
his chest
Coach.
there.
Now I feel like you're going to have to try it in 1.
Yeah, I'm
Or
telling
at least
you.
get the first down.
Tell you what, I haven't seen someone pound their chest like that since Celine Dion was singing "My Heart Shall Go On." Good job, Jacob Barr. All right.
I still think 2 people could have fit on that door, Coach.
Absolutely. Stay deeper than the deepest, Prexies.
Home run ball. He's got him. Touchdown, Galion.
King's pass is complete to Donaldson for the 44-yard touchdown.
And a momentary lapse of reason there for the Prexies. Allow the Tigers back in the ball game. And if they get a PAT here, the game will be tied at half.
On to attempt the extra point is Campbell.
Do that muddle huddle, which is probably my least favorite thing that any team has ever done in the history of mankind. And they kicked
That's
the PAT
good.
from the muddle huddle.
And good. With 4 seconds remaining in the half.
All right, so the Prexies defense has a momentary lapse of reason,
7, and the Tigers 7.
and the Tigers are able to score. So what could have been a 7-0 lead at halftime is now 7-7.
Galion getting the ball out of half as well.
And the DBs just did the biggest sin that you can ever do as a defensive backfield is never let anybody deeper than you. They got caught looking, and Donaldson, Mr. Everything for the Tigers, was able to slip behind the coverage.
Why not? Let's see if we can get some return magic here, Coach.
Well, if I'm Galion, I'm not
Hey,
kicking
you're not
it to
kicking
him,
it
though.
anywhere.
I'm
That's
not
fair.
kicking it to Fags, man.
That's fair.
Not even close.
Let's go, Prexy fans. Everybody up for the kickoff.
All right, Ethan Bender up here believes we're going to run the ball back. So let's see if Ethan is a soothsayer.
He's calling his shot.
Calling his shot.
Not sure if there's a timeout or a flag or
I don't see.
what.
Right now, I don't know. Probably a flag. I haven't seen the laundry yet. Maybe the ball fell down or something. I don't know what's going on here.
Is the play clock not running?
Maybe not. Maybe they probably hadn't blown the whistle yet for play. I think that's what happened.
Fair enough.
Pretty sure that's what happened. There we go. Now the whistle has blown. All right, and the Prexies smartly fall on the ball. Smooth Willie Abrams.
Will take over at their own 36, first and 10.
Can't envision anything too adventurous here, Coach.
No, I would certainly hope we're not doing anything too adventurous here.
Checking in at quarterback, Alex Stokes.
Stokes back behind center.
And I think I've been calling him Wes all night. My apologies. It is Alex.
I stand corrected.
All right. And with that, halftime, Prexies and Tigers tied 7-7. Stick around for the band. Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
If you're the type of person that enjoys helping others, let Marion Harding's Health Technologies program put you on a career pathway that is in high demand. In our Health Tech program, you'll be introduced to the latest in medical technologies and practices. Be job ready by graduating with your state-tested nursing assistant certification. Get a head start on your medical profession with College Credit Plus from Marion Technical College. Don't hesitate with your class scheduling. Contact your guidance counselor or health tech instructor, Mrs. Applefeller, in room 132.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production. Hopefully you enjoyed both bands, especially the Marion Harding High School band. And we're going to go down to the sideline with Mr. Cameron, Scott Cameron, to give us an update on the first half of play.
I tell you guys, it was really that was a real defensive battle, honestly. There just seemed to be some great moves by Marion Harding trying to establish the run. We moved the ball really well with the run. Galion made some penalties, some dumb penalties, and we took advantage of it, had some turnovers. Really, it came down to at the end, we just kind of lost focus on the half, let a player run behind us. They've been running a lot of fade routes. Galion's been doing a lot of fade routes on offense. It's going to be interesting to see a second half if our secondary can adjust and pull out maybe of that cover 2, cover 3, whatever we've been running there. It's leaving a lot of players open in the deep ends.
Well, and I got to tell you, when the Prexies had the ball there before the half, I was a little surprised that they came out and they switched quarterbacks and they went 3 straight passes there. The Prexies had 2 minutes left. Galion had 1 timeout. I got to believe in a situation like that, the Prexies could have certainly killed a lot of clock. But at the end of the day, though, even then, though, you can't allow your DBs can't allow Donaldson to get behind them, especially in what you know is a situation where they're going to throw a long ball there. You have to stay deeper than deepest. But the good thing is we're essentially sitting at 0-0 right now with a 7-7 ball game, and Prexies defense has played well and been able to stifle Donaldson. So we'll see what they can get done here in the second half. Your thoughts, Coach Keplinger?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Obviously, in the booth here, we were wondering a little bit about those passing plays and the drive leading up to Galion's score, but. I like minus that 1 slip up on defense. I like what I've seen from the Presidents here on both sides of the ball. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Presidents have certainly put together a more complete game with what they've done offensively and what they've done defensively. And like you said, minus that 1 slip up, the Prexies have really dominated this game with the exception of that slip up. Gotcha. Keplinger just put a new headset on, so if he talks, maybe we'll be able to hear him.
Check.
Nope, can't.
No, I still don't have Cameron.
Yeah, give me your headset. All right, folks, we're dealing with, like I said, this sideline reporter thing's a very new thing we're doing tonight, so we're still dealing with some technical difficulties as we try to get iron out some kinks. So much like the big guys, the big boys on ESPN, we have some technical difficulties, but I have faith that Mr. John Mullins is an extraordinaire and we'll get these problems figured out. But I am tapped into Mr. Cameron on the sideline, so when we have to, we'll go down to him.
Do a little Venn diagram thing today, I reckon.
Hear me? Hey guys, I tell you what, down here second half, we're going to be looking for we got to have a big come out here. It's going to be interesting if we go back to reestablishing that run and to see if that works. We ran really well on that really big defensive line. I think it's going to be very interesting to see if we go with the bread and butter that worked or if we go what they're comfortable with and run some offense with the pass.
Absolutely, that's a great breakdown there, Coach Cameron. And we're going to see the mayor here, Hensley, kick the ball off for the Prexies. Galion to get the ball to start the half. Great open field tackle there by Hayden Montego Bays. Zumbizi Bays.
First and 10.
All right, here we go. We'll see what Galion dials up here. See what adjustments they made at halftime. What do you think here, Coach Keplinger? If you're Galion, what adjustments do you make at halftime?
Oh, man, I don't know what much I do change there. Obviously, the run was working for them. And you had some success airing it out there, so I don't think that's something you're going to really key on and start air raiding, but
Well, and you're right, because if there's one thing Galion's done well all year, it's run the ball, and Donaldson has been their go-to guy. So really, if I'm Galion, I'm just going to trust Mr. Everything, Donaldson, who they had back at quarterback on that last play.
Keeps again.
Donaldson with the keeper, brought down by Malachi Robinson.
And Jacob
Arneater in as well.
And about
gain of 3, 3rd and 1.
a hair. The hair on my head, though, not on yours, Coach Keplinger, because your hair is long and mine is not. Mr. Cameron is also suffering from male pattern baldness. Him and I share that. All right, let's see if the Pregs can get a stop here on 3rd and short.
Gives it off.
Nice blitz there, but just wasn't where it was supposed to be.
It's a little zone read there.
A little bit. It looked like it.
Kind
looked
of
like it.
Hey, key in on Mr. Everything and just hand it off and first down.
Hey, down here on the field, Todd.
It is a warm night tonight, Coach.
That gain brings up a first down, Tigers.
It's hot up here. 17 wings at halftime doesn't help, but
No,
you're
it
not
doesn't.
wrong.
I'm with you on that one. I think I made about 17 wings at half too, sir. Little counter double play there. Donaldson hands the ball off to
First by Malachi Robinson.
I think Cooper McCabe.
By a host of presidents. Pick up to 2nd and 8.
Well, and one of the things I've talked about along this broadcast is when we watch football, we catch ourselves wanting to watch the ball all the time. If you watch the offensive line, if you watch the lines in general, they're going to tell you everything that's happening and when it's happening. On that last play there, you saw the backside guard and tackle pull, and generally when that happens, you have what is kind of known as a counter double play. Little backside guard pull, that's a trap. Donaldson tackled
Arneater.
in the backfield by the Arneater.
Pick up of 1, 3rd and 7.
Not much going on there.
Not much. Question is, do you think they are in 4-down territory, Coach Keplinger? I got to think, well, depends. What are they going to do here?
QB power? Forward progress, of course, going to make that a 3 or 4 yard gain.
And I gotta believe.
That brings up a 4th and 3.
I gotta believe they punt it here, Coach. I gotta believe.
I think they're going.
It's 4th down.
Yeah, I think they're going for it.
All right. Maybe they're thinking about it. I don't know. They got faith in Donaldson. See what the Prexies can do here. See if the Prexies get a stop here on 4th and what looks like 4. Tell you what, this would be a good time to run a screen right here.
Harding looking like they're pinning their ears back a little bit. Showing blitz.
Maybe they're trying to get the Prexies to jump off.
Some kind of flag. False start.
Flag on the play.
Yep. And they were trying to get the Prexies to jump off sides, and now they're going to punt the ball. Hey, let's go down to Coach Cameron on the sideline here. Oh, we're having some technical difficulties. Mr. Cameron is unmiked. That's okay. We'll come back upstairs.
Back to punt for the Tigers is Campbell.
Back to punt for the Tigers. Campbell.
Surely a punt now.
Lazy snap. Oh, and we could have blocked that.
Decent Tiger bounce.
Nice open
shoestring
field
tackle.
there. Shoestring tackle by, I want to say, Garrett Eisen. Garrett Eisen.
Brought down by Weggeson. Presidents will take over at their own 16-yard line. 1st and 10.
All right, that was a good defensive stop there by the Prexies. Prexies have the ball on their own 15-yard line. 85 yards here to try to hit pay dirt. Believe it or not, Galion took quite a bit of time.
Yes.
On the clock with that
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well. 4 minutes.
I just looked up and I'm like, holy smokes, 4 minutes
Okay.
gone already?
It seemed like maybe Galion wants to limit some possessions here, too.
So you can't hear me?
Prexies come out and try to establish the run. Looks like Kyrie Scott maybe picks up
Down
one.
by a host of Tigers. No gain. 2nd and 10.
Wink back out in the huddle with the call. It's like Scott got nothing on that play.
Back to that eye look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kyrie Scott, the ball carrier.
Tough run there by Scott. Not much going, though.
He actually picked up a little more than we thought there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, it got dark, Coach, so, you
It
know,
did.
our eyes don't work as well.
Our eyes aren't what they used to be there, Coach Kep.
I'm over here, Coach.
Oh, is that you? With that beautiful mane of hair, I thought Robert Plant was up here. And I'm telling you what,
That's
I
the
need
first time
coolant.
I've ever been confused with Robert Plant.
Telling you, I need coolant, and I'm not fooling because it's hot up here.
Looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket.
Oh!
He's got Megatron.
Nice catch. Megatron, Wesley Stokes.
No Decepticons on that action, Coach. First down, Presidents.
Kind of like that old Billy Squires song. But we're going to say, stoke me. Wesley Stokes with the catch. Everybody, have you heard, if you're in the game, Wesley Stokes is the word. All right, let's see. Prexies come back out tonight, Coach. Oh, nothing doing on that.
Oh, he stayed on his feet.
He got out of the tackle.
Maybe loses a couple more yards on the second effort,
well,
but I'll commend the second effort.
I'll give him an A for effort, Coach.
Lincoln Tyrell. That's a loss of 5. 2nd and 15.
Tell you what, Tyrell is a name that has been a Galion name for a long time. Tyrell, there's some really good wrestlers that come out of that area with the name Tyrell. Good wrestling coaches named Tyrell. And I would be willing to bet that youngster is related to the Tyrells of which I speak. I'd be betting you that he would end up on probably a wrestling mat this winter, Coach.
Hey, I'm taking your word for it.
Stop the ball carrier.
Well, and right now the Prexies offensive line has got more holes than Swiss cheese as the Prexies keep going backwards. Now we have an obvious third down, passing down.
Upper.
All right. Prexies do one of two things on this. They either go for a home run ball or they just play it safe and run the ball here. Nope.
Little play action.
Play action.
Covered. Going Megatron. Got Megatron.
Okay.
Little bit of improvisation.
Okay. Rubbing the passer, too. All right. Brady Wink has ice water in his veins.
Doggies.
So regardless of the outcome of that play, the Prexies get a first down anyways.
That's a nice job. I think, everybody who covered there in Stokes just took off. Wink saw it. And good read.
So here's what I don't get. Earlier in the game, the Prexies had a roughing the passer, but they didn't get the yards. But now, remember there was a play earlier like this?
It was a personal foul, but I don't know if it was ever specified there was a roughing the passer.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll have to go back and watch.
Just like that, the Prexies flipped the field with what is almost a 50-yard gain.
We'll take it.
Nope, Coach called a timeout. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break with Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
Contact your guidance counselor or see Coach Cunningham in room 9. If you're the type of person that enjoys helping others, let Marion Harding's Health Technologies program put you on a career pathway that is in high demand. In our Health Tech program, you'll be introduced to the latest in medical technologies and practices. Be job ready by graduating with your state-tested nursing assistant certification. Get a head start on your medical profession.
What about now?
With college credit
Cool.
plus from
All
Marion
right.
Technical College.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marion Harding
Don't
football
hesitate.
is proud to recognize our sponsors.
All right, folks, we're back from a commercial break, and we're going to join Coach Cameron down on the field.
Hey, I tell you what, man, that was a really interesting possession. They're starting to catch on, or even though they're small on the line still, their lens and reds are really popping out to side. We're having trouble moving the ball any side of the tackle. So that was a great play action. We found Megatron on that deep throw. Great play. And I tell you what, Wink stuck in there, took the hit. We're on the move, boys.
All right, let's do this. Wink runs the ball. All right.
Good lead block there by Superfly and by the Mallet.
I'm going to tell you what, you ain't lying, Coach.
I think my slow self could run behind that.
Absolutely. Well, and Coach, we would be remiss once again if we didn't talk about these beautiful, beautiful lights. We have to give the thanks to our Director of Grounds, Jake Growl, our HR Director, Adam Kunkel, our Superintendent, Ms. Farana Rusi, Assistant Superintendent Jennifer Lawson, and our Board of Education for putting forth the funds to provide these beautiful lights for this old girl here, Harding High School Stadium. Ooh. Oh, and Wink just threw it a little bit slow. And I'm going to tell you what I would have liked to have seen Wink do on that. Step up and run the ball.
I was thinking that too. That opened up right in front of him.
That opened up. The way that pocket opened up. If he steps up there, I think he gets a couple yards, Coach. And honestly,
I think he saw Scott so open though.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
well,
yeah, he had a step or two on him. If that ball's on the money, that's a touchdown.
Absolutely.
So,
well, and sometimes too, while you're running forward and trying to throw that ball, you don't get your feet set, and sometimes you don't get it where you want it.
QB keep.
Flag. Wink with the first down. It's Flag on the play.
Got a hold.
Holding on the Prexies. Now we're going backwards. He was pretty curt on that. Holding, Harding.
Thank you.
Those are kind of slant rhyme there. Holding, Harding. Right?
Let's hope that's the only time we hear the scheme, Coach.
Absolutely. That's a spot penalty, so
That penalty brings up a 3rd and long 6 for the Prexies.
3rd and long 6. I'm just going to call it 3rd and 7 instead of a long 6.
This third quarter is flying by, folks.
Tell you what, this third quarter, you are 100% right. I blinked and the third quarter was more than halfway over.
Got the flats.
Wink will be sacked in the backfield by Griffith and Campbell.
Well, and I'm going to tell you what, even if Wink could have got his eyes downfield, that pocket collapsed so quick there wasn't much he could do with that.
No, sir.
All right, looks like they're going to
Loss of 8 on the play.
try to get the mayor with the field goal.
Brings up a 4th and 14.
Tell you what, they've shown a lot of faith in this young man this year. He's got the leg, but does he have the accuracy? All right.
To attempt the 42-yard field goal is Jordan Hensley.
And I figured out from this angle up here, I'm never going to think it's good. I'm just going to watch the refs.
Fair enough. Everything's good from up here, Coach.
Everything looks good from this angle. Now, I knew that was no good. Hey, but that's all right.
It is no good. Galion will take over at its own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
As Coach Ted Lasso would say, got to be a goldfish.
Absolutely. All right, hey, we're going to go down the field with Coach Scott Cameron for an update.
You know, that field goal try really kind of is an indicator of how tight this game's going to be, especially if we've been talking about how quick this game is moving. It's going to fly by real quick before the end of the game. It could be a field goal that determines this, or maybe even just a touchdown. It's going to be interesting to see what develops because I tell you what, both defenses, they're sticking it at the right time, and they're holding fast at the right time.
Well, you know, Coach Cameron, this might be just one of those games who blinks first, you know. Whoever commits a turnover or whichever defense is able to get a hold of the ball, that might be the difference. Nice tackle there by Jacob Arndt. Steps up in the hole, and the Arn Eater says no dice. I think Malachi Superfly was on that as well.
Thought I saw Pennington there, too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Bradley Pennington.
What'd you say, the Sequoia? What'd you call him?
Sycamore.
Lay in the wood, the sycamore, that's it.
Yeah. Sequoia sounds good, though, too.
It's a sycamore.
Maybe we'll call him
They're all trees.
Bradley the Mighty Oak Pennington.
Ooh,
there we go.
The Mighty Oak.
Bringing the wood. The Mighty Oak.
Donaldson, the ball carrier.
I tell you what, our linebackers are timing up some great blitzes here, Coach. I got to give Coach Art credit for what he's dialing up here. He's doing a great job. Jacob, Mr. Goodbar.
Pickup of 2, 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8. This is definitely not 4-down territory. Very important the Prexies get a stop here. Should be noted, not playing in tonight's game are Brennan Beecham and Trinity Keith, who were injured in the game last week against that team that happens to be south of us, who we will not name.
The Pandas?
Yep, the Pandas.
Wason, the ball carrier.
Looks like it's going to be 4th and very short.
Down the play by Bradley Pennington and Jacob Arndt.
The Mighty Oak.
The Mighty Oak.
Bend, don't break.
4th and 1.
Interesting call here, huh?
Man, I don't know, man. If you make okay, I think they're bringing on the punt. Are they not bringing on the punt unit? I'm just not sure. I don't know. If Galion goes for this and gets it, it's the greatest call in the world. If they don't, it's not. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know. Let's see if the defense can stiffen up here.
Donaldson, the ball carrier.
Donaldson going to break him. I don't think you're winning that one. Touchdown, Galion.
Well, and I got to tell you, we weren't set on that. I'm absolutely telling you right now, we were not set on that play. and Donaldson just took the ball and he went. So good call, Galion. Tell you what, Donaldson turned around there and looked like he was taunting a little bit. I'm surprised that the ref didn't throw a flag there.
On to attempt the Galion extra point is Campbell.
So Galion strikes first blood. They take a gamble and don't miss.
Back to the muddle huddle here.
Yeah. And it's weird because they catch you sleeping here. You're not really sure if they're going to kick it or not, or what they're going to do.
And they are not going to kick it. That two-point conversion is good. I'll tell you what, Galion going for the win here.
They're going for the jugular.
They're going to turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
And you don't ever turn it up to 11.
Sometimes it goes up to 11.
It's Galion 15, Marion Harding 7.
And once again, that touchdown that Galion got right before half continues to haunt the Prexies.
So now, Coach Schneider, how does the game plan change, if it does at all? If you're calling this game, what are you
If you're the Prexies, you just do what you've been doing. You know you've been able to get the ball down to Stokes. You know you've been able to run the ball successfully. And really, at this point, Donaldson's beat you. That's all. That's it. Galion has done nothing. You listen. You got caught looking on that long touchdown pass, and on that play, you weren't ready. It was 4th and 1. The Prexies literally were standing around looking at each other when Donaldson snapped the ball and just took off to the right and went to the races. So at this point, it's not what Galion's doing; it's what we're not doing, and it's executing. Galion's not doing anything special. They're not throwing anything fancy schmancy at us. We're not executing. We can't get down there on the 12-yard line and get a hold. We've got to play smart football.
Short kick stays in bounds.
And that's one of those ones that you think maybe you don't jump on that. Maybe it goes out of bounds, but you don't take that chance. All right, folks, we're going to go down to Mr. Cameron on the sideline here.
You know a name we haven't heard tonight.
Oh, never mind, folks. We had lost the connection. But one of the things, Oh, never mind. We're back.
Hey, one thing we haven't heard tonight is Caden Fags. We haven't heard him on offense. You know, it almost seems like, man, we've seen Donaldson break some big plays. Where's Caden Fags in all this and maybe making some big plays and using his speed? Let's see if something like that develops.
Wink makes 2 miss. Nice block from Superfly. Nice.
Oh, and they called that block.
I disagree.
They called that block on Robinson.
I disagree.
I don't fault the young man for that. That block was in the bounds of the play. It was not behind the play. I don't like that call.
It's a guy chasing your quarterback. It's a guy chasing your quarterback. I mean.
Yeah, I don't like that call. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you right now. I understand why we make those, but I don't like that. That block was not behind the play. Kid was chasing the quarterback. I don't like that call. But once again, we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. We get the ball down here on the 12, we get a holding call. Wink gets a beautiful run, and whether we like the call or not, it was called. So if you don't make that block, you don't even leave it to question. So once again, the Prexies just cannot handle success. We continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. We cannot continue to make those mistakes and expect to win this ball game.
1st and 7. Got the first down. Solid run. Superfly. Still about 10, 15 yards from where we were, but nonetheless, good execution there.
Well,
hey guys. You know, I tell you what, real quick, we went right back to going right up the gut instead of trying to fly out to the side. That's working great. Smash them right in the mouth.
Galion 15, President 7. It's the 4th quarter, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break with Marion High School Telecom production.
Chemistry is the science and study of matter, including its properties, composition, as well as reactivity. chemistry relates to everything that can be sensed in our physical world. It's important to understand chemistry if you are studying any of the sciences because all of the sciences involve matter and the interactions between types of matter. The study of chemistry opens doors to many careers. Students wanting to become doctors, nurses, physicists, nutritionists, geologists, pharmacists, and of course chemists all study chemistry. At Harding High School, we are proud to offer chemistry as a field of study. So if you have a passion for science, love doing experiments, and want to perfect your analytical and communication skills.
All right, folks, we're back where the Prexies are engineering a drive here. Time is of the essence here as the third quarter went by very, very fast.
Hey, it's the fourth quarter.
I'm telling you.
Hi, kids.
Robinson, the ball carrier.
Nothing doing on that play. The Prexies went back to the little counter play there that Robinson got a lot of yards on the last time around, and nothing on that one.
Loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13.
Our eyes on the ground saying that there was a face mask call that was missed on that play. We would surely take those 15 yards and that first down.
Absolutely. Sometimes the football gods smile on you, and sometimes they don't. And that's an example of them not smiling on us.
Air raid to Megatron. That one's just a pick. Underthrown just a little bit.
Oh, there's a flag on the play.
Defensive pass interference.
Yep. All right. So remember I talked about the football gods?
Well, holding. Same idea.
That time they smiled on us.
You can't snow the snowman, Coach Schneider.
All right, it's now 2nd and about 3, maybe 2.
Yeah, long 2, short 3.
Yeah.
Oh. 2nd and 1.
So a defensive holding penalty netted us 12 yards. Strange. All right, let's see what the Prexies can do here.
Yeah, I guess I assumed that was a 10-yarder and an automatic first down on a hold.
Yeah, I thought so. It looks like I thought Wink maybe had that with forward progress.
Forward progress. Yeah, we'll see where the spot is. Nope.
All right. This, I hate to be that guy, but this might be a very important third down play here, Coach.
Sure is, especially the way this clock's been flying here. So, QB keep gets a block from Malachi Robinson.
Oh, a flag. There's a flag.
I don't know.
I think it's coming back, unfortunately. If it's a spot foul, it's still at least a first down. Once again, the Prexies continue to shoot themselves in the foot and cannot and will not allow themselves to handle any success. Never mind. They called it off. I'm sorry if I was a little negative there. My apologies, Prexie fans. I'm just passionate. We're going to go down the field with Mr. Coach Scott Cameron.
Hey, isn't this exciting? What a play. From where I looked, it looked like a kind of a cheap foul, and sure enough, they waved it off. Brady Wink, it's been throwing the ball okay. But I tell you what, his feet this second half been playing a totally different part of our game. Boys, we are a 2-point conversion away from this being a great ball game.
Absolutely, and I want to apologize to Prexie fans if I was being negative there for a second. I get passionate and passionate about this ball game, and I'm passionate about seeing these youngsters be successful. So they called off what was a bad foul, and the Prexies get the touchdown and see if they can get 2.
It's good.
And just like that, the game is tied. Let's go
on.
down to the field with Coach Scott Cameron. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you guys hear me? All right.
Yes,
fantastic.
sir.
We're coming
Great.
down to you.
Hey, we are tied up 15-15. It's going to be huge. Our defense has to step up. We got to find Donaldson. We got to find number 12. No fade routes. They're going to try and hit big.
All right, Brady Wink is on the sideline, banging his chest, looking up at the stand, saying, "Let's go, let's go!" And I tell you what,
Hey guys,
I love that young
can we
man. He's a good young man.
can we acknowledge
And kudos
the
to his
baton
mom,
twirler for them?
Christy Wink, who bought the Martha Douse Dance Studio here in town and is going to continue on the Douse tradition here in the city of Marion. There's already there's already a Douse Dance Studio in Waldo, run by one of Martha's daughters, Suzanne Harris. But Marilyn here in town sold it to Christy Wink, former Miss Ohio, so she's running that now. So make sure you go see her, folks.
I think my mom's taking tap classes, actually.
How about that, Coach? How about that? All right, we got ourselves essentially a knotted ball game here, what I like to call 0-0. Who will blink first?
Kick fielded at the 20. Nice tackle. Marquise the Beast.
Marquise the Beast Adams. Hey. Da-na-na-na. 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 Da-na-na-na.
That was my favorite pinball machine at
Yeah.
the mall.
The Adams family started when Marquise made that tackle. Great job, young man. Great job, young man. Hey, by the way, who caught that two-point conversion? I got so Twitter-patted, I don't even know who caught it.
That was Kyrie Scott on the catch there.
Kyrie.
All right, here we go. 10 minutes left in this contest.
Game all knotted up.
Looks like the Mighty Oak, the first one there.
Bradley, the mighty Oak Pennington. Chopping down trees, bringing the wood like Paul Bunyan. Slew of Prexies on that tackle.
The trouble with the Maples, and they're quite convinced they're right.
Oh!
Galion jump.
Galion jumped. Every time the other team commits a foul, I usually have this joke, and I haven't said it yet this whole game. Like the Beatles said on their album, Beatles for Sale, you can't do that. All right, second and 14 here. Second and 14. See what the Prexies defense can do.
Uh-oh.
Ball!
Ball's on the ground. Big sack there.
Dr. Smooth. I got a little excited there and started yelling ball.
Dr. Smooth got me. He had that big sack against Newark. He was getting on the bus. He goes, "Hey, Cap, you see that sack?" I did, and I saw that one, Dr. Smooth.
Now, here's what you don't do if you're the Prexies. Not know where Donaldson is. Because Donaldson is an absolute positive home run threat.
Perceptive.
You know it, I know it, everybody knows it.
And the slot there.
Yep, Donaldson in the slot.
Top side of your screen. Deep, not enough.
All right, looks like the Prexies are going to have pretty good field position. Let's go to the field here with Coach Scott Cameron.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, hey, Great stand by the defensive line right at the right time, making great plays down there. We're going to put some pressure on them. And like you guys said, who's going to blink first? It's 0-0 ball game, and there's only 9 minutes. Who's going to blink first, boys? Matter of that.
And one of the things you talk about, Coach Cameron, we haven't seen Caden Fags yet. What a great time to see him do something. Oh!
Punch blocked! Safety!
Safety!
We can dance if
Prexy's
we want
with the
to.
safety!
We can leave your friends behind.
Baby! Coach Keblinger, I'm having palpitations! Palpitations! Was that?
Well, your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well,
Who
they're.
blocked that, Coach?
I think that's Barracuda.
Was that the Barracuda?
Hey, go to me real quick.
I'm going to go next door and ask the coaches who blocked that. I want to make sure we talk to them.
Hey, tell you what, once again, guys, that defensive line coming in great. Special teams. Jim Tressel knew it, and that's winning us the ball game right now, fellas.
Following a safety.
No joke. It don't matter how you get them. It just matters that you score them. With that,
well,
17-15 Presidents.
And I checked with the coaches. That was Kobe. That was the Barracuda. Coach, we have too much fun doing this.
Hey, I think it was. That's a heck of a play by that young man.
Well, I got to tell you, man, like Coach Stone said,
kid can play.
Kid can play. And listen, folks, we want to thank all of you guys for letting us into your living rooms every Saturday morning and Saturday evening when you turn these games on. Just know the one thing we care about more than anything is these kids and talking about how great they are and how amazing Marion City Schools is. So thanks for allowing us in your homes.
Real good field position. Stokes makes one miss. Can't make a second miss. Gotcha.
Well, and the Prexies have decent field position. Nah, check that. It's not bad field position, but I wouldn't call it good and I wouldn't call it decent. But it's not bad.
I've seen worse.
I've seen worse. Tad ambiguous there, huh, Coach?
I guess so.
Well, ambiguity is the name of the game sometimes. Ambiguity is the name of the game. All right, so the Prexies have a lead here. Let's see if what they do here.
Give to Superfly. Good for 7-8 yards on first down.
Absolutely. We have a Prexy who's up, getting up just a skosh slow. Big Mikey Morales-Bush, he gets up. Also on the offensive line, we got to give a shout out to number 60, Jalen Williams. We have number 52, Jacob Bart. Number 64, Napier Brady. Caden the Mallet Hill. Am I missing anybody, Coach? Because their parents watch the games too, and they want to hear their names.
I think you got the 5 out there right now, Coach.
All right, let's see if the Prexies stick with the run here.
Nothing going on that play.
Tell you what, I like old 71 there for Alex Griffith, though, from Galion, showing good sportsmanship there, helping Wink up. Prexies find themselves behind the sticks. What was 3rd and 2 now becomes 3rd and 9. And I like the run call on that. I mean, Wink's got you a lot on that one, but you know, I want to give a shout out to the offensive line because they've done some great stuff tonight, but not so good on that last play.
Crucial 3rd down here.
Very crucial. Clock still running though. Clock is our friend. Flats open.
Wink's going to take off. It's going to be close.
Oh!
It's going to be real close.
I think he got it.
That looks like a first down to me.
I think he got it. They got it. They're telling it first down. And I'm going to tell you what, folks. That kid has ice water in his veins. Let's go down to Coach Scott Cameron on the sideline.
Here we are. We talked all game about the ability to run the ball, run the clock. Here we are, and we were talking about it. Will we stick with it? Yeah, you can't be too predictable on offense. You got to pass at some point, keep them honest. But we've been running really well, taking it right to them. They don't have their big guys in there on the line as much as we thought. The number 77's out. As long as we keep running down their throat, make them stop us.
Give the Superfly.
What I'm going to tell you, Superfly cut it up there. But, man, if he'd have bounced that outside, Coach, he'd have kept running.
Still be running.
Oh, my goodness. His eyes, listen, sometimes you're so worried about that first block that you sometimes don't always see what's there. If Malachi would have just switched his eyes, if he would have looked just a little bit to his right and bounced that, he'd still be running, Coach. There'd be fireworks going off right now. But that's okay. The clock is still running, and right now it is our friend.
Little underthrown there.
Wink stepped up there and threw the ball a little bit low. 3rd and 9 for the Prexies. The clock stops.
The 3rd and 9s aren't good for the old ticker, Coach Schneider.
No, they're not. They are not. See what the Prexies try to dial up here. See if the offensive line can give Wink some protection here.
Going to Megatron.
And he caught it!
Stiff arm.
And he caught it!
Must!
And he caught it! And I know that flag's going to be pass interference.
Declined on the defense.
Penalty declined. All right, folks. Let's go down to the field with Coach Scott Cameron. Down to the field with Coach Scott Cameron.
Guys, it is electric down here. Our fan is great. I don't know if you guys have gotten a shot of the student section. This is the biggest I've seen it in a long time. This year it's been absolutely dynamic. The kids are excited. We're excited. Hey, and guess what? We're up 8. Get that extra point. 2-possession game. Let's get them, boys.
Like you said, Coach, this is a very important extra point here. And it's good.
Money.
Prexies have a 9-point lead with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left. Now, know this. Donaldson is dangerous, Coach Keplinger. Donaldson is dangerous.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're either gonna have to get the ball back quick here, not because they scored, but turnover on downs, or have Galion milk some clock a little bit. So.
Absolutely. What you can't do is allow a quick strike here by Galion, because if you allow a quick strike, you kind of let him back in the game.
Thanks for saying what I'm struggling to say there. You got it. You got it.
Well, and folks, I apologize here. I have on headphones, and what I just said out loud, I did not say into the microphone, so I don't know if you guys heard it. So I'm not going to re-say it because I might jinx us. So I'm going to leave it alone. What we have to do here is play really good defense. We have to have a good coverage here on the kickoff and really good defense.
The mayor with the kick.
Good high kick. Oh!
Botched. Big stick.
Nice stick. And I'm going to tell you, Marquise, the Adams family.
The beast. Young hearts be free tonight.
Oh, that's a great song, by the way. Landon Adams. I'll tell you what, Landon Adams is the son of one of my high school friends. Known Landon for a long time. Youngster was in youth wrestling for me. His dad, Kyle's a magnificent guy, and Landon is a wonderful kid. Glad to see him out there as a sophomore, getting some tackles on not scout team, but kick team.
Reverse. Oh, that face mask is getting called there. flag on the play.
I don't know if that was a face mask, was it? I think they're going to try to call a horse collar.
Same
He
difference.
kind of pulled his body down, but
right.
I wouldn't be shocked if they call this off because I don't really think that was a horse collar. He just grabbed a hold of his shirt and spun him around. I don't agree with that call. Okay, never mind. That's why his body got twisted around. Good call.
I think Dr. Smooth got him on the way around there.
Good call, Coach Keplinger.
Hey, blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
$2 burgers and half-price pizza. Head on down to the concession stand.
Concession stand is selling everything half price. If you were here, I would advise you to get some, but by the time you're watching this, the game will be over.
But you should know.
But you should know. Nice open field tackle. Nice open field tackle. Tyree Scott with an amazing open field tackle. Should be noted, Galion still has 2 timeouts. The clock is ticking. It is our friend and their enemy. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed our setup tonight with our sideline reporter. I know we have had a couple hiccups, but we're working hard to bring you guys the best possible game.
Empty set here for Galion. Throwing well hit.
Somehow he caught that.
Okay.
And their
First
quarterback
down.
took a shot there.
Complete to Gabe Ivy.
Ivy on the catch.
That is a pickup of 17 and a first down Tigers.
It took a hit when he threw that. Little bit of a duck there, but found the receiver. Empty look again. Had to throw it around big Mr. Goodbar there, and nothing going.
Now, here's what happens on that play, though. The clock stops. Once again, Woody Hayes said when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. Well, actually 4 things, because one of them, well, incomplete, which stops the clock. So there you go.
Overthrown.
I'm going to tell you what. They missed a hold. I believe number 16, Jacob Arndt, was held on that play. All right, Coach. You know as well as I do, Donaldson is dangerous.
Yep.
Don't let him behind the play. Keep him in front of you.
Hey, it's 4 downs from here. You're absolutely right.
I mean, if anything, I would maybe put Fags out there on him because Fags is probably as fast as he is. Or it looks like they're playing cover 2 right here. Have a safety over top.
Mallet just misses.
Sack!
2nd and 3rd. That's the Mighty Oak.
Woo!
We've called his name a lot today, Coach Schneider.
Tell you what.
Have a day, Bradley Pennington.
I'm going to tell you what, that kid keeps playing a football game like that, I might go carve his name in a Mighty Oak.
Wouldn't admit that.
All right, fair
broadcast.
enough. Fair enough. Oh. Proud of that young man for playing the amazing game he's playing tonight. Clock is ticking. It is definitely not the friend of the Tigers. If we get a stop here, this could be in the Prexy's favor.
Nothing going.
Prexy ball. Prexy ball. Prexy ball. Now, still plenty of time left in this ball game. If I'm the Prexys, though,
I think with 2 possessions, you just got to run the ball.
We got to run the ball, Coach. We got to run the ball. Tell you what, we're going to go down to the sideline with Coach Scott Cameron. Your thoughts, Coach?
Hey, you know what? If it were me, I would just run a quarterback, wrap or something like that. Don't let the ball even get lost in the handoff. Run that clock. Make them use timeouts. Clock's in our favor, 2-possession game. No need for the quarterback to even release the ball from his hand.
Coach, I agree with you wholeheartedly. We just got to don't even hand off the ball. Just catch it, wink, and run it.
Gave to Superfly, tripped up.
Oh! That was a late hit. I can't believe they didn't call that.
Yikes.
They missed a call on that one. And now the kid obviously that wasn't a late hit where the kid was trying to be dirty. That was just a kid trying to make a play, but that certainly was a late hit. Prexies let the clock run here. Use every single bit of that play clock, every single bit.
No hurry here for the president.
Absolutely. No hurry needed, Coach. No hurry needed.
Superfly.
Oh!
Hits that B button. Nice spin move there. Good enough for a first down as well.
All
and
right.
now tick, 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 tick.
Well, to stick with our pop culture references and pop culture themes and music references, time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future. Because the Prexies need to fly like an eagle, Coach.
That plays on so many levels.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does.
It really does. Who said I wasn't clever? Not me, not you.
Nobody I've talked to.
Well, there you go. All right, Prexies let every bit of that play clock wind down here. Wink hands the ball off to Superfly.
Superfly.
Just gotta
Hold
hang
on to that ball, young man. Yes, sir. Man, we spent too much time together.
We spent way too much time together. Tell you what, folks, let's go down to Coach Scott Cameron here on the sideline to give us an update on what the crowd looks like.
I tell you, the crowd, they're just kind of watching. They're waiting to see what happens. They're excited. You can feel the electric in the air. You can feel that wind coming. They're just kind of holding their breath like, okay, guys, keep running the ball. Keep moving that ball. Make them use that time. Make them use that clock. They're feeling it. We're feeling it down here. The student section is watching. They're just ready to bust. We're ready to ring that bell at the end of the game, fellas. We're ready to ring that bell.
Well, I got to tell you, Coach, to use a literary term, they are waiting with bated breath. The Prexies call a timeout, and we're going to take a quick commercial break here with a Harding High School Telecom production.
And citizenship programs for youth in the world. Their mission is to promote character and leadership development focused on developing self-confidence, discipline, citizenship, leadership skills, and a sense of responsibility within the individual cadet. Throughout this course, cadets will focus on developing citizenship and patriotism. They will develop self-reliance and responsiveness to all authority, improving the ability to communicate well both orally and in writing. They will develop an appreciation of the importance of physical fitness. They will increase a respect for the role of the U.S. Armed Forces in support of national objectives. They will develop a knowledge of team-building skills and basic military skills. In addition, anyone taking the 1 to 3 years of this course grants cadets the ability to...
All right, folks, we are back. We have 1 minute and 43 seconds left. The Prexies are on the 20-yard line. Galion has 2 timeouts. They can still stop the clock a couple times. Got to believe the Prexies here are just going to run the ball, give it to Malachi, or possibly Wink's going to hang on to it.
Little pop pass to Fags. There goes the Jet.
The only problem with that play is
stepping out of bounds.
He steps out of bounds, and when you flip the ball to him like that, oh, my goodness. Listen, I understand getting the ball in the playmaker's hands. Well, fair enough.
I know what you mean, though.
Well, we got the first down, though.
Hey, first down.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. The Prexies are able to hang on. You know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm not. Not yet. Here we go, folks. Let's see if our boys can close it out and ring that bell.
Another pop pass there.
Galion calls a timeout. Tell you what, let's go back down to the sideline with Coach Scott Cameron.
Hey, guys, I think Galion kind of senses it. They know it's coming. I tell you one thing, another thing that's been great. You know, one thing we don't talk about is, man, our band is great. They've been keeping the crowd alive. like you guys mentioned earlier, we got new lights. We got this great field. We are very fortunate, Marion City, to have the great facilities that we have. I know Sean Kearns works endlessly, tirelessly to try and make sure we've got state-of-the-art stuff. John Mullins has done a great job. And tonight we're just kind of trying to figure out some of the quirks and some of the kinks with me being the new Aaron Andrews, because I do look pretty nice in a dress. Right, Todd? So, hey, but we got this. I can't think of anyone else that's doing a sideline reporter for a high school football game. That is cutting edge. And John Mullins, thanks for having me here and doing this. We got a great team. We got a great school. We're doing great things here in Marion City Schools.
Well, and I got to tell you, Coach Cameron has always kind of been the unofficial third member of our crew, and we've been talking about this for a long time, trying to get a sideline reporter, and here we are.
It's a lot better than running a camera back and forth, that's for sure.
Absolutely, it is. I don't know if that was offsides. They called us for a false start.
Yeah, I think Mikey jumped there just a little bit.
Well, he kind of went in the neutral zone, though. He kind of pulled him off there a little bit.
I think he flinched, which caused him to jump.
All right. Well, listen, we just got to run the ball here. Galleon's got one timeout. They can only stop the clock one more time, so we got 3 downs here to kill clock. Yeah. You know they're gonna call their last timeout.
Nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing changes. Just takes us a little longer to get a first down.
Oh, shifty.
Nice pickup by Brady.
There's a flag. Late hit.
I don't know what they called that on. I hope that's not on us.
I think there was some late contact on Wink there. Or personal foul face mask?
Possibly. Don't know who they're calling that on, though. Let's see what they do. Oh, there we go. All day, every day.
Well, that just about does it now, Coach.
Yep.
Excuse me, at the press box.
Let's go to our sideline.
It was found
reporter,
near
Scott
the
Cameron.
concession stand.
Hey, real quick question, boys. What's the best formation in football?
Please come on up to
the
the press
victory
box to
formation,
claim it.
That's where we are.
Oh, I know that one. It's the victory formation, Coach.
Ooh. You're like that kid in class. Call on me.
Germany?
Hey, speaking of that, that was an SNL reference. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the loss of one of the most amazing, deadpan, driest humors ever, and the death of Norm Macdonald.
I went through and watched the Bob Saget roast after his passing, and that is just that's just comedy gold, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Norm Macdonald was a good one. But that being said, here we go, Prexies. Let's see if we can put some icing on the proverbial cake, if you will.
Robinson, the ball carrier. Brought down by Campbell.
All right, the clock keeps ticking here. Now, if the Prexies are smart, what they're going to do here is literally just line up, get under center, take a knee, let the clock run down. The play clock hasn't even started yet.
Nope, just turned on here.
All right, folks, so at this point it's pretty obvious the Prexies are going to win this ball game. Listen, what a bounce back by this team. Couldn't be more proud of these young men. Last week was a heartbreaker. And I'm going to tell you what, Brady Wink, young man has ice water in his veins. Kobe Johnson, Stokes, our defense, what a great team victory, folks. Proud of these youngsters as they move to 3-2 and still control their destiny in the MOAC.
Throwing the ball.
Not quite sure what we called that one for. Probably should have taken a knee.
Collective awe.
Looks like the Prexies are going to maybe still try to go for it here and put some more points on the board. I mean, for an offense that has struggled at times this year, I can't blame him for this. I can't blame him for trying to take a shot here. Probably going to let the clock wind down, maybe call a timeout. That's what they're doing.
Play clock's off.
Play clock is off.
They tried to snow the snowman, and you
seem to
can't
have
snow the
lost
snowman.
the play clock. Coach calls a timeout, and we'll stay live here, folks. We'll stay live here. No need to go to a commercial break with a Harding High School Telecom production. And once again, folks, like Coach Cameron said, we got to give thanks where thanks is due. Listen, these games are brought to you free, and they're brought to you every week, at least every home game, because of not Coach, I'm so used to calling everybody Coach, because of John Mullins and the Telecom production. And I want to tell a story.
All right, let's hear it.
I was in the Board of Elections one time because I was in there making sure some paperwork was okay, and a gal who works behind the desk, she looked at me and she goes, "You're one of those fellas that does the football games, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." She goes, "I want to thank what you guys do. My son and I, we went back the other night and we watched a game from 3 years ago, and just the wonderful, nice things you said about my kid and you said about my family." And I said, "Well, thank you, ma'am. That means a lot to me, and that means a lot to Coach Keplinger and Coach Mr. Mullins. I'm going to make sure to share that story with him." And really, folks, we want to appreciate you guys for letting us into your homes. You know, we have a lot of fun up here. We crack a lot of jokes, but we take this seriously because we know these memories matter to these kids, and they're going to last for years because of our wonderful Telecom program.
And a testament to all you guys out there too for raising such wonderful young men and women that we get to say awesome things about.
Absolutely. Oh!
Touchdown! Nope. Dropped it.
He dropped it.
Breaks pass is incomplete, intended for Kyrie Scott.
That was a nice hit, though.
Way to stay with it.
Lincoln Tyrell, nice defense on the play. Mikey Morales-Bush becomes Mikey No Shoes. That's his new nickname.
Hit like that, he might be a wrestler, huh?
Mikey No Shoes Morales-Bush.
Mikey No Shoes.
Mikey No Shoes. All right, folks.
Got to delay the formality just a bit.
Score stands 24-15. It may not stay that with Donaldson and his speed. Prexies have defenders so far back that they're almost in the graveyard. Oh!
Arneater got him.
Yep.
Way early.
Way early. Yeah. And he kind of lowered. I hope that young man's okay. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break with Marion Harding High School Telecom production while this young man is tended to on the field. All right, and we're back, and we still have the youngster from Galion down on the field, and we're going to oh, that young man's moving. They're picking him up, and it looks like he's going to possibly walk off the field. He's up. He's at least talking. Well, and you know, folks, sometimes, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. That's why when the game is in hand like that, you go ahead and just take a knee because you don't need to extend the ball game and possibly get people hurt. And that's kind of what happened there, folks. Like that youngster from Galion, still on the field. We're certainly saying some prayers for him, hoping he's okay. All right, folks, and he's walking off the field, a little slowly. But listen, I'm gonna repeat what I said. When the game is in hand like that, you take a knee. You don't extend the ball game. By extending the ball game, you run the risk of getting players hurt, and that's exactly what happened there. So hopefully that man's okay. So. And an ejection.
Yeah.
Just didn't need to happen. Knees should have been taken. Clock should have been run out, and we should have secured this win and kept everybody healthy.
Does that have lasting implications in high school ball, do you know? Is it a half?
If you get ejected, I think it's a half.
Okay.
So,
First half next week?
Yeah, the youngster for the Presidents who got ejected, I believe, has to sit out. And actually, it might be a game, Coach. I don't know.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
Strip sack. All for pretty much not. What a good sack by Dr. Smooth.
Yep. Looks like Galion's going to try to get one more playoff, but it's not going to happen because Donaldson is way down here.
Ball game.
That's the ball game. The game can't end on an offensive penalty. Prexies win the ball game, folks. And with that, the Prexies move to 3-2, 24-15. Wait a minute.
The result is ball game.
Ball game.
All right. The fireworks go off, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prexies win the ball game. Thanks for being with us, folks.
Good night, everybody.